Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Zenon. I'm sales engineer at Exoreti, and today I, together with my colleagues, will present you the topic of HTML5 visualization with Zenon. Besides me, our speakers will be Dalibor Bobic, Zenon sales engineer from Belgrade, and Nikola Maric, technical support engineer here based in Ljubljana. Let me go through the agenda first. First, we'll present you company profiles of Exoreti and Copa Data. Then I will explain you briefly about options with network technology and communications and connectivity. Dalibor will present you web visualization service, which is the main topic of today's webinar, local use cases. And then the most interesting part will be live demo with Nikola, and at the end, Q&A session. In the meantime, please feel free to ask questions in the chat box or Q&A box. And after end of the webinar, I would ask you to fill out the survey so you can have some feedback and have even better webinars in the future. Okay, let's start with Exoreti. We are present in 8 countries in the Balkan region. We have offices in Ljubljana, Zagreb, and Belgrade. We have 10 partners who offer innovative software and hardware solutions for industrial automation and energy industry. We offer individual solutions, consultancy, and technical support. We have 15 employees, and we have over 500 customers in the region. And our partner, Copa Data, is manufacturer of software for industrial and energy automation, therefore for Zenon. So besides software sales, they offer also professional services for some custom project demands. And together with Copa Data, we offer technical support, training, and certification. Basic numbers of the company are 350 employees who focus only on software development. The company was founded more than 30 years ago, and now we have over 250 installed Zenon systems worldwide. What do you get with Zenon platform? We enable you easy scalability, robustness, validated security, excellent performance, flexibility, openness to any kind of hardware, shorter time of validation with our integrated function because of our integrated functionalities, ergonomics. So with development engineers can design their projects with the philosophy of parameterization instead of programming, lifecycle management, and interdisciplinary nature of the software. You will hear and see us offering solutions in all industries. We adapt the software so it's of course compliant with the specific standards in each of the industry. But basically, we can offer digitalization solutions in food and beverage industry, in pharmaceutical, in automotive industry, energy and infrastructure, and with machine builders. So we can offer solutions with the same software for quote-unquote smaller projects and for big projects with hundreds of thousands of values connected to our software. So let's talk now about Zenon network technology and connectivity. So we offer more than 300 in-house developed native drivers. Through all industrial or proprietary protocols or standard protocols, we offer also possibility of driver development. And here on the right side, you see Zenon Logic PLC, which is our integrated soft PLC, which enables you connectivity through field bus directly to IOs. And when you have data collected, we can extend the solution. So with Zenon network technology, we offer speedy and secure network configuration, client-server configuration at the touch of a button, various client types. So here we can have our legacy static clients, which are our so-called thick clients with installed software, where we can also provide archiving and data management. And then we have also the possibility of smart clients, which enable you visualization through web browsers. And then pure HTML5 solutions for clients, like our legacy web engine that enables you visualization with smartphones and tablets, or basically a thin client on a client computer. And today's topic will be web visualization servers, which is the main point of development currently. And this will be explained to you in more details by Dalibor and Nicola. Let me also mention prevention, the possibility of redundancy, so we can prevent interruptions. We have a patented solution of circular redundancy, basic redundancy, and process gateways and interfaces for bidirectional communication with superordinate systems like MES systems or ERP systems. And also our latest solutions for more complex architecture. So we have Zenon IoT services, which is a functional expansion of Zenon software for more, as I said, complex architectures. We offer cross-site networking, centralized control of distributed systems, for example, for distributed wind parks and solar plants. We offer a possibility of integration of third-party applications for analytics or whatever. Central authentication service. All communication is only through secured TLS protocol. And we also support different virtualization technologies like Docker and Kubernetes. And now I will invite our next presenter, Dalibor, so he can explain to us this new solution, which is web visualization service. Please, Dalibor, take over.
Thank you, Dan, for this introduction and explanation of general network technology in Zenon. Now let's continue with web visualization service. For the beginning, just in short, it's a new technology, of course. It's a comprehensive, in-depth integration of HTML5 based visualization in Zenon service for Zenon Service Engine. Since it's pretty much new, let's cover some of the terminology. So web visualization service was introduced in the last Zenon version, so in Zenon 11. Now with 12, there are many improvements. But for the beginning terminology, WVS or VVS, whatever you like to call it, it's a module that is connected to native service engine. We have also VVS Ops Manager. We will see it later in a live demo how it works. It's a session manager for web visualization service, and it adds multi-session functionality to it, so you can use it with multiple clients, VVS clients, service engines that are administrated from Ops Manager, and they provide the VVS. How does it work? So when we start Service Engine, now we have option to start, besides the standard, the classic way, we have option to start the Service Engine with Web Visualization Service. You can connect to your Service Engine then with browser, with any browser available on the computer or your mobile device, of course. On localhost, you might use DirectX, so this classical, or HTML through a web browser. Both possibilities are open. For multi-session, of course, we will explain this later. Also, Ops Manager, as I mentioned, is used. It's in the background. service engine is started multiple times. So for every client or user, one instance of service engine is started, so you can use your project. There are also two options. It can be for the clients, it can be read-only or read-write. So for that option, we also use Ops Manager, but it can be one or another. It cannot be both, so we need two Ops Managers if we want different functionalities, but we will see this in this architecture example, which will Nicola later on explain further in more details. So for the beginning, let's say we have single host deployment. So we have a host, a server with Zenon, and we start Ops Manager, and then we can access the projects on the server through different web client, different VVS clients in this case, so it can be multiplied directly. We have also distributed deployment, for example, with redundant server, with server and standby server. So through the network on another machine without any special installation of Zenon, we can start Ops Manager and then share the project from server or standby server to VVS clients, in this case with full access or with read-only access. So multiple web sessions are supported. It is, of course, strongly related to the performance of the host computer. It's for web visualization service as a new functionality, it's constantly developing. For Zenon 12, there are several improvements already available for the customers. So equipment model screen, several functionalities, command processing for the energy sector, recipe group manager screen has more functionalities, and additional elements and properties are available, like a switch or bar graph or pointers. So this is constant development from Copdata side, and of course, more features and more functionalities will be available pretty much soon. Regarding the engineering, so everything is done in standard engineering studio. So there is no additional software for making project, for engineering of projects for VVS visualization. So no special settings, no extra compiling. Nicola will show us one standard project, how he can put it to VVS visualization. Also, there are several graphical possibilities if you're concerned about the restrictions of HTML. Now we have several screens from food and beverage, from pharma industry. You can see it can be really, really nicely presented. A lot of details, a lot of different graphical elements. For renewables, all standard projects. Some of these screens are from Copdata template projects, which can be reused at the customer side. So this is also available as a template. And of course, for the substation automation, there are a lot of improvements, especially in this new version. So with command processing and similar functionalities. The biggest success, we already have some projects where, of course, standard network technology and VVS are used. Let's mention some of them, which our partners succeeded to make in last several years. Let's start with URAM System, our partner, part of Copdata partner community. Really nice project in food and beverage industry in Serbia. We are not allowed to mention because of the security topics there, but it's a really complex system, integration of 2 Zenon servers, and they are using 16 remote users with comprehensive production process coverage for the analysis and for the maintenance of the processes. So more than 100 PLCs are used there, and the whole overview is done in a Zenon network. Next one is from also our partner, Indus Automation. They're a silver partner in the Copdata partner community. A beautiful project presented also in the last Copdata event in Salzburg just a few months ago. Molson Coors did a project with Indus did a project with Molson Coors for 6 breweries so far. The project is called Efficiency Monitoring System, started in 2018, and it's still ongoing project, so it's constantly developing. They provided the customer with a simplified and beautifully made HTML visualization, even for mobile devices. You can see in the center of the screen, this is one screen for the mobile application. So they are doing advanced analytics and reporting. They have increased safety and automatic data collection for stoppage analysis. And also from Euroelectra, from Albania, they did a really nice solar power plant for Lufra factory. It's 1.1 megawatt peak solar, and we presented this in more details in our last webinar. You can find it in our YouTube channel. Of course, the screens are really nicely done and functionalities are fully used, partly from the demo project, from template project, partly developed on their own. So I think it's time to see web visualization service in practice. So Nicola can take over and show us from engineering side how simple it is to implement this to your projects. Nicola.
Thank you, Dalibor. Hello, everyone. Today I will be showing you a demo setup of the web visualization service. So here I stole a slide from Dalibor. We will be taking a look more theoretically to the single host deployment. We won't be actually doing a single host deployment. We will be creating a distributed deployment, meaning we will create a server, a main Zenon server, and on a separate machine, we will start the web ops manager, which will then visualize through multiple clients on 3 different machines and so on and so forth. But for the beginning, the first step in creating and setting up the web visualization is setting up the main host, the Zenon server. Basically, what you need to do for the web visualization service to work is to have a standard network project. So basically here, I will be using our Academy project because this is more of a technical demo. This is the Academy project from the basic training, and what I will be doing is basically here you have to select network active, and we have to specify server 1. In our case, this is the name of our server in our server room which we use for Zenon testing. In your case, it could be the server in a dedicated server room where the main Zenon runtime is running. And there I will use just remote transport. Basically, transfer changes, set project to start project, and remote start service engine. And through remote desktop, I will switch to the server, and this is basically the server application. We won't be doing anything on the server. We have just started it. There is no additional preparation needed. This is it. It's just imagine it as your main runtime running. And as we mentioned, so for the single host deployment, what you could do is basically just on the main server, go into the startup tool and start the web visualization service ops manager controller. So you start it on the same place as your main server. On one side, it saves you use of a dedicated PC. But as Dalibor has mentioned, the web visualization service for each client starts an instance of the service engine. So if you don't want to possibly overburden the main server, you wouldn't start it with the main Zenon runtime. You have a dedicated server for the main Zenon runtime so that it is 100% working, and start the web visualization ops manager and set up the web visualization service on a separate computer. And that is what we will do today. So I will just close the remote desktop to our server, and we will set up the web visualization service ops manager. You set it up through the startup tool. So basically applications, you go to tools, and here you have the web visualization service ops manager. You press start, and when you start it, you won't see anything. It starts in the background. Similar to Zenon logic, if you go here under hidden icons, we can see there is a web visualization ops manager service icon. If you right click it, there's a small menu. We can start service, stop service, restart it, and we can open the configuration. So first thing is we have to configure it. But the configuration is really, really simple. So for more simple projects, here we have project mapping and general settings. Project mapping sets up the number of instances and basically tells which project will be used. If it's a more simple project, as it is in our case, we don't have to do project mapping. It takes the main start project that is set up on this PC. And the only thing that we have changed here basically is the number of instances. This is the number of simultaneous connections that are allowed through the web visualization service. The license that I'm using allows only 3, but as we have seen in the web visualization slide, up to more than 100 concurrent sessions can be started. Of course, you need a really strong machine for that, and possibly smaller project, but yeah. Suitable host performance. Here, under settings, we have to set up the URL. Basically, this is the address where the ops manager can be found. When you connect to the web visualization service, we are not connecting to the main server as we are in a distributed deployment. We are through web browsers connecting only to the host. This also allows us, in case we have a server and a standby, in case that the server breaks down, the standby takes over. Our clients that are connected through a separate machine on the host do not see the change. They are automatically transferred to the standby server and act as regular Zenon clients. Yeah, so that is why we have to define here the URL of the host. In this case, this is my PC. We are going through PC name. You can also use the IP address. It is, or any other way just that you can find the PC. And the port, by default, it is 9510. I will not change it. You can change it here if you want. And that is basically the entire configuration of the ops manager. I can just basically right click it and say start service. And when we start the service, this is the ops manager. And you don't do anything here. It runs in the background. What you do with this window is basically just minimize it. And now we can connect. We have set up the web visualization service. If I copy this URL, I will go to a new window, paste it in, and 2 points, and here we have the port. And we have connected to our server. This is web visualization in the client. And here we can see we have a user administration, a simple project overview. Most of the screens and elements are available from as on the original server. Some are not, as you can see, but I think every year new functionalities are coming. So if I try to open the Earth screen, this is the user administration. It says you're not entitled to execute this function. So I will have to log in. I log in here. I have a shortcut for logging in as the administrator. And now we can go through screens. It is very similar to the standard Zenon clients with a bit less functionality. So for those of you who have used the web engine previously, you will notice a couple of quality of life differences here. So for instance, if I go to Earth, we can read all of the values. We can also send a command. I can change the temperature. Maybe look at here. It is currently 18 degrees outside. So I'll just type in 18, set value, and the value has been set, and it is increasing because the driver has been set up in such a way. But we can change, send commands, it is completely available. We can take a look at the chronological event list. Here we have events. We can add a comment to our events. For instance, this is a comment, and we have added a comment. We can take a look at the currently active alarms. This is the alarm list. You see there's quite a bit of them. We can also acknowledge alarms. We can add comments to alarms. So let's say alarm comment. We can take a look at trends. It's a bit simpler than the regular trend, but still you can have integrated trends. You can also use the HTML screen to display embeddedly some web page or a local PDF or something. I will go back to the overview screen. And this is all in the browser. If you're looking at it full screen, because I have used the F11 key for just starting the browser in full screen, you can see if I go up there, it is just a normal browser. And we can also take a look from a different PC. So here I have a virtual machine set up. It is a virtual machine where there is no Zenon installation, there is no service engine. This is a clean Linux installation, and with the Mozilla Firefox browser. So we took a look at the Edge browser. This is Mozilla Firefox, and the same principle. So I have it here from testing, but you can just type in the exact same link, open it, you see, and you have another client connected. Again, you can use the F11 key. We see system name is different. I have to log in again, as this is another instance of the service engine. And if I go to the alarm message list, I think there are some new alarms here. You can also acknowledge alarms. You can do everything. Everything is the same as from the Windows client. So basically, you can have visualization done even on Linux clients without installation without any Zenon installation. Basically, visualization in the web through a browser. One more thing that I'm going to show you is how you can update the project. So before, with the HTML web engine, to update the project, you would have to do changes in the project. You would then have to compile the project. Then you would have to compile the, especially for the web engine files. And after you compile the second time for the web engine, you have to move the file manually and deploy it. With web visualization service, it is the same as on any standard Zenon clients. So for instance, I'll change this overview text here. I'll go add an underscore and type in maybe webinar. And what I can do is I can compile it. Yes, I want to save the changes. So we have changed the overview screen. I will remote transfer it to our main server. I will reload the project on the main server, and all of the clients are automatically updated. So if I go back here, I have overview webinar. If I go to my Linux client, I have overview webinar. So everything was automatically updated across all of the clients. It makes it a lot easier for maintenance, for instance, because you don't have to transfer it everywhere. And also, if you need custom visualization, what also works is a day-night switch, color switches, a language switch. For instance, I can move it to Slovenian. We have now visualization here in Slovenian, or back to English. So both cases work. Another thing that I would like to show you is access through the mobile phone. I will connect with my mobile phone, open the same link in the browser. Basically, the only precondition is that I can find this link address. And as I am in the correct network here, in our office network, I can connect to the same page. I have opened it. And now here on my phone, I will, for instance, change the temperature on Earth for Africa, and I will type in, let's say, 40 degrees. So basically, I'm changing this temperature here. Currently it's -80. I set value and I have sent the command through the phone. And it is easily integrated into basically for the phone, any browser. It's a lot simpler than using the old HTML web engine. Yes. And also another thing that Dalibor mentioned is the multiple sessions. And here on the side, I have prepared my task manager. And if I bring it on, you can see multiple service engine instances. So I have connected through 3 clients. I have one client on my phone. One is the Linux machine. One is this machine right here. And we have 3 instances of service engine. So that is basically 3 clients. This is it regarding the live demo presentation. So you see, it took us 10 minutes to set up the web visualization service. It is pretty user-friendly. All configuration is done here in the projects. You configure the functions, screens, everything, compile it, move it to the server, and the Zenon handles all of the rest. If you have any questions regarding this, I invite you to ask them in our Q&A box and in regular chat. And now back to you, Dan, for the Q&A session.
Thank you, Nicola. Thank you for these very interesting presentations and explanations. I found very interesting the comparison between web engine and this new solution for visualization. So we have 2 questions. One will probably be for Dalibor. What are the licensing possibilities for web visualization service?
Yes, I did mention the licenses. The licenses are based on the size of the project, so tag-based and also user-based. So you can choose between one and I don't know how many, one by one. So if you need 4 clients, you can buy 4 clients for the project of I don't know 2,000 tags. We can check and make an offer and send to the client.
Thanks, Dalibor. And one more technical question. Nicola, if you can help us here, please. How is Zenon project affected when user chooses HTML visualization through or compared to standard static client visualization?
Mm-hmm. So basically the project is not affected. You just have to make sure that you're using the elements that are compatible with the web visualization service. And also what is added newly in the project properties, you have a checkbox that will allow you to only display compatible content from web visualization service. You still have to, for some instances, create special screens with more compatible elements, but basically the project is not affected at all. You can do it in the engineering studio and it is easy to configure.
Okay, thank you, Nicola. And this is it for today. We came to the end. Please fill out the survey at the end. If you have any more questions regarding today's topic, send us an email. Or if you have some general questions, don't hesitate to contact us. This webinar will be published on our YouTube channel, so you'll also get the link. And thank you again for your attention. I hope it was interesting, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.